Today on Stuart Cox Family News. The judge presiding over the Georgia election interference case against Donald Trump and his co-defendants said Friday he hopes to rule on whether Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis should be disqualified from the case in the next 2 weeks. Leave a comment below on your feelings, and now let's roll the clip.
All right.
Tonight, explosive closing arguments in a Georgia courtroom.
Prosecutors don't act like this. Lawyers don't act like this. These people, Your Honor, is a systematic misconduct, and they need to go.
As lawyers seek to disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis from the Trump election interference case over what they say was an inappropriate relationship she had with the special prosecutor Nathan Wade.
This office is a global laughingstock because of their conduct.
Lawyers for Trump and other co-defendants arguing the romantic relationship between Willis and Wade created conflicts of interest, particularly financially.
Mr. Wade and Miss Willis basically lived Robin Leach's lifestyle of the rich and famous. And they did this riding on the backs of the defendants in this case, funded by the taxpayers of Fulton County and the state of Georgia.
The defense alleging these comments Willis made at the oldest African-American church in Atlanta in January, her first public comments on the scandal, were a violation of professional rules of conduct.
I appointed 3 special counsel, as is my right to do, paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one, and I hired one black man, another superstar, a great friend, and a great lawyer. Oh Lord, they gonna be mad when I call them out on this nonsense.
Defense today claiming her words and timing were calculated.
She chose to deflect and to do 2 things that are reprehensible for any lawyer, but particularly for a prosecutor. She chose to pull out the race card and the God card.
Judge McAfee at one point questioning if Willis is disqualified from this case, will she need to be removed from all others?
Where would be the limiting principle? The district attorney signs every indictment assigned to this courtroom.
No.
Does that mean she's off every case?
No, it would be when
If I found that she's untruthful, is that what you're kind of suggesting?
The defense team doubling down on their argument that Willis and Wade lied about their relationship, highlighting the sheer magnitude of texts and calls between them before they say their relationship started.
just in the first 11 months of 2021, over 2,000 calls, almost 9,800 texts. I don't even think love-struck teenagers communicate that much.
Also calling into question the timing of these communications.
Phone call from Miss Willis, between Miss Willis and Mr. Wade, 11:32 that night. Shortly after midnight, the phone starts traveling down from where Mr. Wade lives and ends up where Miss Willis is staying, and he's there until roughly 4:55 a.m. Teenagers have a name for those kind of calls and those kind of escapades. I won't go into it.
Willis's attorney arguing the technology used to pinpoint Wade's location isn't always reliable and doesn't mean he was at Willis's home.
These records don't prove that he laid his head anywhere.
Reiterating their argument that Willis has been targeted by people who had an axe to grind against her and that the motion should be dismissed. Fani Willis entering the courtroom to listen in on the state's closing arguments, sitting just 3 seats away from Nathan Wade. Willis at one point even passing her attorney a Post-it note, not speaking today, but remaining defiant after she took the stand 2 weeks ago.
I think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
A big part of the defense's argument, text messages between Terrence Bradley, the former law partner of Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, and defense attorney Ashley Merchant. These messages, first published by the Megyn Kelly podcast, appear to show Merchant asking, "Do you think it started before she hired him?" To which he responded, "Absolutely. It started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton." Bradley, taking the stand earlier this week, at one point was asked about that very text.
I was speculating.
Why would you speculate when she was asking you a direct question about when the relationship started?
I have no answer for that.
Except for the fact that you do, in fact, know when it started, and you don't want to testify to that in court.
The judge today questioning if that discrepancy was really a slam dunk for Trump's lawyers.
Is it ever definitively shown how he knew this and that he actually did know it, other than just a assertion outright? Absolutely. Usually, if a state has a witness that goes sideways, they've got him locked in. They've sat down with a detective and got a full statement. We don't have that here.
Willis's attorney arguing tonight the other side failed to prove the conflicts of interest, casting doubt on claims Willis or Wade have benefited financially from the case.
He stated a DoubleTree in Napa, a DoubleTree. I don't know that to be a lavish hotel.
All right, we saw and heard a lot in court today. The only thing we didn't get was a decision from the judge. Marissa Parra joins us now live from Atlanta. So that's the big question, Marissa. When will we know the decision?
Tom, well, as you mentioned yourself, there is a lot at stake here when it comes to that decision. The judge said at the very end there that there's a lot of legal issues that need analyzing. He said he needs time and that we should expect to hear from him sometime in the next 2 weeks. But, Tom, the big question is, will sometime in the next 2 weeks the judge say he needs more information, more evidence, or will he say he has all the information he needs and we'll hear a decision and we'll finally get an answer on whether or not Fani Willis and her entire team will stay on this case?